Hello Halo fans, welcome back to the channel where I talk about everything Halo. From story-based lore theories to online arena multiplayer, every part of the beloved Halo series is extraordinary in its own right. At the beginning of Halo 5, there is an odd but peculiar cutscene that involves Dr. Halsey, the creator of the Spartans in the Halo universe. For those of you who aren't familiar with this character and her importance in the Halo universe, I recommend you check out my Halo Theorist podcast, where myself, as well as another well-informed Halo theorist, talk about the history of Dr. Halsey and her possible importance in the upcoming game Halo Infinite. Here is the link to that podcast, and it will also be in the description below. However, for those of you continuing to this video, I will fill in any minor details that are needed for basic comprehension of this theory. To start with this theory, let's look at the cutscene I referenced at the beginning of Halo 5. First, I will let the entire cutscene play, then I will break down and analyze the necessary pieces for this theory.
Spartan Locke. I have spent enough years with Oni to know the truth. Once this is over, after all I have done, they'll order you to kill us both.
Now that everyone has viewed this cutscene at least once, let's take a closer look at some of the key elements in it that will be relevant to this theory. Dr. Halsey starts this cutscene by walking down what seems to be an underground facility into a lab that requires her fingerprint identification to enter. Upon entry, we see Dr. Halsey set down a book on the desk. Many Halo fans will easily be able to identify this book. However, for those of you who do not recognize it, let me explain its significance. This is Dr. Halsey's personal field journal that came with the legendary edition of Halo Reach. Throughout this book, Dr. Halsey recorded many of her internal notes for events that go as far back as the original development of the Generation 2 Spartans and Mjolnir armor. This journal concludes with her final notes prior to Noble Team's arrival to extract her and her research off the planet Reach during the Covenant attack in the year 2552, this only being a few days prior to the events of the first ever released Halo game, Halo Combat Evolved. As the shot pans over, we see a framed photo of a familiar face from Halo 2, Commander Miranda Keyes. Commander Keyes, not to be mistaken as Captain Keyes, is already widely known as the daughter of Captain Keyes, the captain of the ship the Pillar of Autumn from the first Halo game. Not so widely known is that the mother of Commander Miranda Keyes is actually Dr. Halsey. During the early stages of the recruitment for the Spartan 2 program, directed by ONI, or the Office of Naval Intelligence, a CIA-like agency within the Halo universe, Captain Jacob Keyes was assigned to escort Dr. Halsey during her pre-abduction phase of the recruited children for the Spartan 2 program. This can be seen in the animated short and read in the book The Fall of Reach, which depicts the events such as the beginning of the Spartan 2 program and events leading up to and eventually the Covenant invasion of the planet Reach. Foreseeably, as a result of this extended mission for both Jacob Keyes and Dr. Halsey, Miranda Keyes was born, and subsequently she followed Captain Keyes throughout his assignments in the Human Covenant War, all the while being almost alienated by her mother, Dr. Halsey. However, throughout Halo lore, in smaller snippets like these, we can see that Dr. Halsey still regards her as her daughter. Finally, as a quick note, the last thing we see prior to Dr. Halsey's dialogue in the cutscene is a hologram of a brain. This, as we will see again shortly, is an important sign of the significant location of this cutscene. This location is the developmental lab that Dr. Halsey used and referenced throughout her field journal for Cortana and other previous experiments that led to the development of the Spartan 2 program. But for the last part of this cutscene, I want to analyze Dr. Halsey's dialogue.
Spartan Locke. I have spent enough years with Oni to know the truth. Once this is over, after all I have done, they'll order you to kill us both.
After hearing this dialogue one more time, and for comprehension in the Halo universe timeline, I want to put things in perspective. Dr. Halsey, as seen throughout Halo 5, is missing her left arm. This is due to a bullet wound inflicted after the events of Halo 4 in the included game mode Spartan Ops. As a quick summary of Spartan Ops, you play as a part of a Spartan fire team known as Fireteam Crimson that works in parallel to another Spartan team known as Fireteam Majestic. Throughout Spartan Ops, you are assigned various missions that pertain to the Forerunner world Requiem as seen in Halo 4. Near the end of these missions, Spartan Sarah Palmer, the commander of the ship the UNSC Infinity, also seen in Halo 4, is assigned to kill Dr. Halsey, and as a result, Dr. Halsey takes refuge with the Covenant leader Joel Mdama, who is the leader of the Covenant faction you face throughout Halo 4. But before Dr. Halsey's abduction, Spartan Sarah Palmer manages to inflict the wound that causes Dr. Halsey to lose her left arm and can be seen here.
Thorn, take the key!
Commander Palmer? Majestic, engage!
This explains her situation at the beginning of Halo 5, in where she is held captive by Joel Mdama and needs to be rescued by Spartan Locke and Fireteam Osiris. Now, going back to the opening cutscene of Halo 5, something that can be easily seen is that Dr. Halsey still has this missing arm. What this says about this particular cutscene, at least visually, is that the events that we are seeing must take place before even the beginning of Halo 5. Using all of the information that I presented in this video, as well as contextual events that are occurring in the cutscene, I believe what we are seeing is an event that took place on the planet Reach prior to the events of the first Halo game, Combat Evolved. Furthermore, I believe this is an event that symbolizes Dr. Halsey and her close relation to Cortana. As many Halo fans know, Dr. Halsey created Cortana, and what makes Cortana different from many other AI is that she was created differently from those other AI. Cortana even states this openly in Halo 4 during the level Requiem.
Well, as far as I know, I'm the only AI ever generated from living tissue. A clone of Dr. Halsey, to be precise.
Due to this odd relation that no other AI would have with its creator, I now want to listen one last time to the dialogue that Dr. Halsey says at the end of this cutscene.
Spartan Locke. I have spent enough years with Oni to know the truth. Once this is over, after all I have done, they'll order you to kill us both.
Having an idea now visually when this cutscene takes place within the Halo universe, let's compare that to the audio we just heard. The first thing to note is that Dr. Halsey is speaking directly to Spartan Locke. While obvious for some, this is a key indicator that the dialogue here does not match up with the visual aspect of this cutscene. Dr. Halsey does not conversate with Spartan Locke until her rescue from Joel Mdama, and throughout the events of Halo 5, only speaks with him directly in one cutscene, which I will examine shortly. This being said, the last few lines of dialogue at the end of Halo 5's introduction cutscene must take place at some point after Dr. Halsey and Spartan Locke's initial encounter. But before I attempt to place this line of dialogue chronologically, let's look at one last cutscene I just mentioned moments ago.
You know what I did to create the Spartans, all in the name of the greater good.
Doctor, we don't have time.
Cortana is built from a matrix of my own mind. The domain gives her incredible power.
I understand.
Spartan Locke! Stop her! But please, bring John home to me.
As we have just seen, Dr. Halsey explains to Spartan Locke the nature of Cortana's creation and gives him a new understanding of her fear of Cortana's power. She knowing herself what her own mind is capable of, and can be seen in Cortana's desire to rule over the galaxy throughout the events of Halo 5. Taking this into account, and due to the nature of Dr. Halsey's choice of words and her tone when using them in this cutscene, I believe that the dialogue we hear in the introduction cutscene of Halo 5 actually takes place after the events of the game, and thereby sets a new line of confrontation that may occur during the events of Halo Infinite. As I've explained in the video and through events that can be seen in Halo 4 Spartan Ops, Dr. Halsey has already had attempts taken on her life, and only because of the events in Halo 5 with Cortana's unstoppable power is Dr. Halsey currently not in prison or worse, killed. Without this extenuating problem being caused by Cortana to the galaxy, the need for Dr. Halsey would again become all but irrelevant and again could be taken out of the picture. Taking this last piece of information into account, and returning to conclude my original theory, Dr. Halsey clearly understands what the endgame repercussions will be for not only her, but Cortana once she is eliminated or removed as a threat by Master Chief in Halo Infinite. In short, her usefulness to Oni will be at an end, and she will be eliminated in order to continue the cover-up of the Spartan 2 program. This being necessary for Oni's continued existence in the Halo universe. For a theory about Oni or ONI and the question of whether or not they will ever pay for their crimes, like the creation of the Spartan 2 program, check out my theory video here or see the link in the video description below. Well, that's going to be it for this Halo theory video. Please let me know what you guys think about this theory or even your own theory in the comment section below. Also, make sure to include any other topics you guys might want me to cover in a future video. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe for future content, and if you guys ever want to message me directly about anything Halo, feel free to message me on Instagram with the link in the description below. Be sure to check out my podcast every Wednesday, where I cover more about my Halo theories, multiplayer, and guests' personal opinion on everything Halo. Lastly, if anyone is interested, I do custom game nights every week. If you would like to join, just make sure to subscribe here on YouTube and check my Instagram link in the description for the dates. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you theorists next time.